Okay, so we're gonna give you guys an example of a MadLibs program. All right. So I've already started out with this where I'm trying to create a scanner called console reader, and then the rest of this is going to print out a story, and then we're going to convert this to be like a MadLib. All right. So I wanted to point out that you have scanner here that is unrecognized by the computer basically. And if I mouse over that, it says scanner cannot be resolved to a type. Okay, so we said that one way of fixing that is to go ahead and import java.util.scanner. But I wanted to show you guys that for something like this, another thing you can do is just leave your mouse hovered over where the error is, and it'll give you some quick fixes that are available. Okay, so one of the things is that we can import scanner. Well, that's what we want to do. Okay, it's not always going to be the first thing, but it gives you other options that are possible. But what I'm trying to show you here is that if you just click on that import scanner, it's going to write in that code for you. So it's kind of a nice little feature where if you forget to do the import, it'll let you do that. Okay. All right. So import scanner. Now we have scanner console reader equals new scanner system.in. Whenever we create a scanner, we want to go ahead and make sure that we close it when we're done. Okay, so now I don't have any warnings or any errors. I'm going to go ahead and run this so you guys get an idea of what's going on here. All right, so this gives me my console popping up. Okay, tells us a little story. All right, and maybe you guys recognize that story. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make this into like more of a MadLibs program. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my story and I'm going to pick out words that could be replaced by some other word. Okay. So for example, a long time ago there lived a farm boy. So what I want to do is I want to say like, well, the farm boy could have been any character or any occupation. So I'm going to put in here that I want to prompt, so system.out.print, and I'm going to tell the user enter an occupation. All right, and then I'm going to use a string to keep track of that occupation. So string occupation equals, in this case, console reader dot next line. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is go to my story and I'm going to take farm boy and I'm going to get rid of it. And since that's the end of the sentence, I'm going to go outside of the quote, add a plus sign, and then put in my occupation. Okay? And I'm going to do that wherever I see farm boy. So the monk gave the farm boy. All right, I'm going to delete that, put in a quote, and now this is in the middle of a sentence, so I got to do a little bit extra. So I got to go plus occupation plus another quote. Okay, and I'm just going to close that so you guys can see everything that I'm doing. Okay, and then again here, farm boy shows up right there. So again, I'm going to replace that with quote plus occupation plus quote. And so now it's saying and told the whatever is entered about a bigger world. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Farm boy shows up again here. So what am I going to do? Get rid of it. Quote plus occupation plus quote. Okay. And I don't see farm boy anywhere else. So now I'm going to go over to over here and I'm going to say like, okay, the monk gave the whatever a magical sword. Okay, so let's say that I want to do something else instead of sword here. So I'm going to say up here, system.out.print, enter a type of weapon. Okay, and then string weapon equals console reader dot next line again. Okay, and now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take sword out, and it's the end of that print line, so I'm just going to put weapon in there. This making sense so far? Okay. And then let's say I want to do the same thing, but instead of magical, I'm going to let them say any adjective there. Okay. So system.out.print, enter an adjective. Okay. So string descriptor equals console reader dot next line, and then here instead of magical, okay, delete that, put in a quote, put in a plus sign, descriptor, all right, and then plus another quote. Oops, and that one gave me 2 quotes, but I really just want that quote to be ended here, so I want a space between my descriptor and my weapon. Okay? So I could keep on doing this. I could replace monk. I could replace evil with a different adjective. Okay? I could replace Wookiee with some other kind of alien. Okay? I could replace as much as I want. But then the idea here is that when we run this, now instead of it just telling a story, it's going to ask me to enter an occupation. Okay, so give me an occupation. A teacher. All right, well that's kind of, I'm going to say nurse. All right, so a nurse. Enter a type of weapon. Okay, bow staff. Let's say that that's spelled like that. Okay, and then enter an adjective. Funky. All right. Now, when I tell the story goes, a long time ago there lived a nurse who met a monk. The monk gave the nurse a funky bow staff and told the nurse about a bigger world. Okay? So do you see how that works? That's the idea behind a MadLib program. So what you guys need to do is you need to start with a story that you like. Okay? And just create a synopsis of that story like I did for Star Wars. Okay? It's whatever story you want. Don't use my story. If you want to use the story of Star Wars, you just got to write your own synopsis. Okay? And you can't use the prequels. But anyway, then, start off by writing the story. Okay? Once you have the story written, then you start picking out things inside of the story that you can replace with other words so that people have a chance to do something kind of funny, okay? So that's the idea. So you guys are going to make a new class. You're going to call it MadLib, and then you're going to be able to turn it into me via the website, but we won't do that till tomorrow. All right?